Now, most bartenders, you'll see when they do an egg white in a cocktail, they'll crack it down the middle and they do what a chef does. They go back and forth, trying to separate out the egg white from the yolk. But I'm gonna tell you a little insider trick that no one knows about. Hey bartender, you're watching AdvancedMixology.com with Brian Van Flandern. Today we're going to learn how to safely use egg whites in cocktails. Eggs have been used in cocktails since the 1800s. We know that the first egg white cocktail appeared in 1862 in Professor Jerry Thomas's famous book, How to Mix Drinks or the Bon Vivant Companion. Now, today we're going to learn how to use egg whites. I'm going to introduce to you an egg white protocol so that your guest will never get sick and we don't have to worry about little beasties, because most of those little beasties are found on the outside of the egg, on the shell. And if we go through our little egg white protocol, we can make sure that we're not going to get our guests sick. The first thing you need to do is simply wash your eggs. Wash them under water a little and rinse them off, or put them in vinegar water solution, about 10% vinegar, 90% vinegar for about 15 minutes, and that'll kill off most everything that'll get anybody sick. The next thing I want to do is check for egg white protocol, is check for little hairline cracks. If there's no thin crack, we're good to go. And now we're going to go ahead and build our cocktail. Today I'm going to make you a classic white lady cocktail, which is traditionally made with fresh lemon juice, gin, Cointreau, and of course an egg white. So we're going to squeeze in fresh squeezed lemon juice. Today I thought I'd use a little Cointreau, which is the original triple sec made in Angers, France, since I believe 1847. And it's made with a sugar beet base and then macerated dried bitter sweet oranges, originally from Curacao. And then we're going to use some gin. And I'm going to use an American style gin, Aviation Gin, out of Portland, Oregon. And we're going to add about 1.5 ounces of that. And now finally we're going to add our egg white. Now most bartenders, you'll see when they do an egg white in a cocktail, they'll crack it down the middle and they do what a chef does. They go back and forth, trying to separate out the egg white from the yolk. But I'm going to tell you a little insider trick that no one knows about. If you take the egg and you go right along the edge of your Boston tin, and I prefer to build my cocktail in the tin and use the cheater tin for my egg, and I'll tell you why in a second. We're gonna crack it open right along the edge. We're gonna use it kind of like a knife, and right at the edge of the egg we go, and now I've got a little crack in there and I just pop the top. And now I can just twist it and boop, it pops right out. Now, even though I've got nothing on my hands, which is the beauty of this trick, I'm still gonna wash my hands right away, right in front of the guest, because we want to always project that we keep it clean. Now, I've got my cocktail ready to go. I'm going to give it a quick nose, which is why I haven't added it to my tin, because I don't want to make sure that if it's a bad egg, that I can throw it out and start over again. But that's good. Now, let's go ahead and shake it up. But before I shake it up, you notice I haven't added any ice. I'm going to add in a hawthorn coil. Take the coil off of a hawthorn strainer and simply dump it into the tin. And now I dump my egg white in there. And without adding any ice, I'm going to do a dry shake. And what that dry shake is going to do is going to whip it into a tight meringue so it's nice and frothy. Now, interesting thing about egg whites, they don't have much flavor and they don't have a lot of aromatics. But what they do is they get this really tight, creamy, frothy texture, and it makes a whole complex, delicious experience, a texturial experience. And that's why we love egg whites in cocktails. Now that I've shaken it up, I'm gonna go ahead and add my ice. Now I can shake like regular. Again, you get a nice tight seal. I don't want to use a Boston glass, otherwise it'll expand, the egg whites expand, and then you get leakage down the side of the tin. But now I've got a nice tight seal, and as my friend Francesca LaFranconi likes to say, shake it, don't fake it, and smile. We're going to separate our tin. Got a tight one there. There we go. And unlike a traditional cocktail, normally when you shake, you want to use a fine strainer. You want to double strain out all the bits and pieces. But with an egg white cocktail, we don't want to do that because we want those egg whites to set up in the glass. So you want to get it in there pretty quick. Of course, you want to taste your cocktail for balance. And if you do so, make sure that you tumble roll one time before you pour into the glass, because otherwise it'll set up in the tin much like a Guinness, how it sets up and you get that beautiful crema on the top. If you take too long to pour it in the glass and it sets up in the tin, When you go to pour it, all the liquid will slide out underneath and the egg whites will remain in the tin. But now you can see it setting up in the glass and you get this tight little crema. It's a beautiful foam, it's creamy, it's delicious, it's a classic. So now you know how to use egg whites safely in your cocktails. Play around, have fun, and enjoy the compliments from your guests. If you like this video, please click like and share. Tell your friends, and until our next cocktail together, bottoms up.